Hi, my name is YA OKANO, and I would like to talk about the influence of the difference in blood type. Here's the outline for this presentation. The reason why I thought I want to research about this is because we often talk about the personality and blood types or predicting blood type from people's personality. For example, if there was a person who likes to keep their rooms or stuffs clean, then you might have a guess that she's A-type blood. I thought I want to know whether the relationship is true or not. Also, in the process of researching about the relationship between blood type and personality, actually I found out that there's no crucial evidence that proves the theory of blood type. However, some data shows the absolute relationship due to the difference in blood type. First of all, what is ABO blood type? It is a type of blood that classified into 4 types, A, B, AB, and O. It depends on the substances or antigens on the surface of red blood cells. Do you know who proposed the theory for the first time? The answer is Takeshi Furukawa. He is a Japanese pathologist, a professor, and psychologist. On his experiment, he first observed 11 of his relatives and he thought that there might be a relationship. Then he took a test to 269 of his students and colleagues and concluded that the relationship is true. Then he published a paper. After he proposed a theory and published a paper in 1927, many papers were published to find out whether the relationship is true or not. As a result, those papers couldn't determine whether the theory was true or not, but there were many researchers who denied this theory. At this point, I took a survey to find out whether the relationship is true or not. There were 31 people in total, and the proportion of each blood type in this survey was about the same as those of whole Japanese people. I prepared 7 yes-no questions, and for people who answered yes, it means that the personalities are correct, and for people who answered no, means that the personalities are not correct. These are the results. For A-type, there were 5 out of 7 questions had more answers of yes, and for B and O-type, all the questions had more answers of yes than no, and for AB-type blood, only 4 out of 7 questions had more answers of yes than no. You can say that for B and O-type blood, it is likely to be related, and it is not unlikely to be related for A and AB-type blood. For the reason, B and O-type had more answers of yes for all of the questions, so they are likely to be related. However, for A-type blood, since there are much more people who are A-type blood, I assume that the personalities can't be all the same, which lets some questions have more answers no than yes. And those 2 assumed typical characteristics or personalities does not match to the people with A-type blood. And for AB-type blood, since there are only 2 people who answered to this survey, so I couldn't collect enough data for this. Although some researchers deny this theory, then why do many people in Japan believe in this theory? One of the reasons is because of stereotype. It is a general belief, cognition, prejudice, or distinction. It means that people tend to focus only on the facts that match to the theory. Another reason is called Barnum effect. It is a cognitive bias that occurs when individual believes that generic personality description and statements apply to themselves, and it means that people believe the facts that even though the facts are in general and be applied to most of the people. According to some researches, they indicate that when people were identified as as a particular personality, they tend to accept that it is their personality easily. Personality tests based on something unchangeable, such as blood type or birth date, tend to be attractive because people can convert visible information into invisible information. Also, people find it frustrating because it is impossible to know whether self-perception is right or not. Because personality is no one never knows visibly, so it makes the personality test become popular so that people will know their personality and be able to analyze themselves based on some visible information. Now, I want you to look at this picture. What is your first impression of this picture? According to an experiment of asking people the first impression of this picture, as a result, people who have different blood type tend to use the different side of the brain. For A-type blood, they tend to use left side of the brain. For B-type blood, they tend to use the right side of the brain. And for O-type, they tend to use both left and right side brain, but at a different time. And for AB-type blood, they use both left and right side, but at the same time. For left side of the brain, it handles reading, writing, or calculations. It lets us think logically. And for right side of the brain, it is more in visuals and deals in images more than words. It handles visible information. According to Dr. Takayama's study, he collected data from 901 people who were seriously injured and brought to 2 critical care centers. And as a result, mortality rate for O-type was 28% and average for those of non-O-type blood was 11%. There was a difference in about 2.5 times. As a reason that why mortality rate for O-type was higher is because it is known that people with O-type blood have 30% less blood coagulation factor than those of other blood types. People with O-type blood are less likely to clot, but it means that they're less likely to form the diseases caused by blood clots. Also, it has been reported that people other than blood O-type have 1.25 times higher risks of suffering from myocardial infarction and 1.79 times higher risks of developing economy class syndrome. In addition, not only the risks of diseases I showed on the last slide, but other diseases are known to be related for some blood types. In conclusion, the relationship between blood type and personality is denied at the moment. Also, any test that lets you know your personality makes you feel the result is correct because of stereotype and Barnum effect. Difference in blood type influences the tendency of which side of the brain you use and risks to suffer from certain diseases. We can use those relations as one way to do our self-analysis and consider of the health to live a healthy life. These are the references. Thank you for listening.